So, Mr. Gofford, another quick question I had for you today.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Now that we're in the digital age, I just wanted to know, from in your opinion, do you think the brochures and loose page resumes and things like that, do you think that that is a necessity, or what are your thoughts?
Well, there's more people applying for fewer jobs. Especially now, you could be one of 800 or 1,000 people applying for any individual job. So, like an HR manager at Marshall's department store told us he was in here getting his own resume, and we showed him the single sheet resumes, we showed him the brochures, we showed him the executive folders, and so we just laid it out. These get 25% interview rates. These get 75 and 85% interview rates in recessions and booms and busts. We've had people survive, help people survive 3 recessions so far. So we help our clients not only survive recessions, but come out stronger, be positioned to make even more money, even if you have to take a lateral move and just keep the cash flow going. When that recession is over, then you can start moving up again. But I actually asked this gentleman who was a HR manager at Marshall's, making $90,000. He wanted to make $110,000. He said, "I just want to break the 6-figure mark for the first time and never look back." And so I asked him, "Great, who gets the interview if these 3 resumes are sitting on your desk?" He said, "Well, Jody, 6 or 7 of these loose sheets are already sitting on my desk every morning. These are the standard. I'm getting more and more used to seeing these." He said, "I've getting more and more used to seeing the brochures," and he said, "I've never seen one of these executive folders before." So he really liked the executive. He picked it up off the desk, he looked at it, and he said the following. He said, "Jody, I see these loose sheets all the time, getting more and more used to seeing the brochures, have never seen an executive folder. I don't want the loose sheet because it looks entry level, so that one is off the table." He said between the brochure or the folder, he said if he saw either one of these hit his desk, he would give my client 90% interview rate. Emailing them, which we all do now 95% of the time, he said he was very confident to get 75% interview rate with either the brochure or the executive folder. He said because they both looked managerial and they were both the packaged image that he wanted. So he said, but getting an interview is just step 1. Step 2 is negotiating the higher end of the salary range. He said sliding this executive folder across the desk, sitting back in his 60% off Marshall suit and tie, he said would do half the negotiations for him. So step 1, know someone in the interview. Step 2, even the HR manager at Macy's said unless you know someone in the company or have a well-written brochure or executive folder, you wouldn't get an interview. Neither would I, neither would she. So yes, when there's more and more people, you have to grab their attention. In this society, we need to educate, we need to entertain before we educate. So when I was writing short stories, I was interviewing a bunch of people coming in to play music for the Jazz and Heritage Festival, and I was interviewing Kenny G. And Kenny G said, "You know what? I don't listen to my songs when they come out on the radio. I keep writing. I keep moving forward. I don't rest on my laurels. I keep creating new songs." So Kenny G's coming in for a concert. I'm writing the concert review and promo piece on Kenny G. And the first line of that story was, "Kenny G doesn't listen to jazz." Huh. That's interesting. He's a jazz musician. Wow. People are writing letters to the editor saying, how the hell is this guy coming up with this stuff? Who is this new emerging writer on your team? Well, he's a freelancer, and he's won some awards. Local newspaper, we thought we'd give him a shot. So bottom line is, once you grab their attention in that first line of the resume, well, that would be your first line of the news story, because there's hundreds of news stories online. There's hundreds of resumes in an email. You have to call and you have to follow through because there's too many emails. But if they open up the email, that email opens up like that. That email opens up like that and then scrolls down to that. Well, guess what? That separated you from the crowd. Then in the interview, you do a good job in the interview. The thank you letters after the interview can help get you hired. But absolutely, There's much more competition now than there was 10 years ago and 10 years before that. So the better you can look and sound on paper, the better your interview rate and job offer rate will be.